Durable dads, brothers from other mothers, and sisters from different misters. Thanks for tuning in. I want you to imagine a scenario where you go out to do a review, pick a beautiful spot, and you're reviewing a new to you piece of equipment. Specifically a piece of equipment that makes coffee with fire. Okay, yeah, that was my last video. Now imagine a scenario where you're woefully unprepared. Okay, you have coffee, you have sugar, you have cream, but you have nothing to stir said coffee with, either in the perking or making your cup of coffee. Okay, as rugged as it is to use a stick or a piece of wood, it's maybe not the best flavor-wise, and it really tends to spread the grounds around. Okay, and that just got me to thinking, as successful as that came out, I didn't have the proper tools on hand to ensure the best review possible. I didn't bring enough of the wood. I took some twigs. Didn't work out awesome. There was wood where we were at, but there was no place to split it. Or at least I didn't have the implements. Okay, so I didn't even bring a pocket knife, nor did I have my little hatchet, so no kit. All right, so this got me to thinking, what am I gonna do about that if I want to do another review, or better yet, grab the kid and just do a day excursion. If I don't have the stuff to pull off the weenie roast, or what have you, whatever the day brings, then I'm up the creek without a paddle. So that got me to thinking, okay, if I'm going to be continuing doing this and adventure season is fully upon us, what am I going to need for a day excursion and an overnight, and what should be in a bin, either in the vehicle or in a bin close by, to grab just to take with you and you're ready to rock and roll. Okay, outside of the cooler and the other, and bring in some water and wipes and TP, also bug spray. Outside of those normal things that I have thought that maybe consulting an expert in bushcraft might be the best call here. So again, we're gonna call on Jeremy from Fireworks, and we're gonna see what's in his kit, because the guy does a lot of bushcraft and camping, and he knows, and he has his go-to. So we're gonna have a discussion about what should be in any good dad's kit that makes it really handy and conducive to just spontaneous trips. Now that we have the premise of the video out of the way, let's have a little chat about where I am currently. Okay, I happen to be standing at the McClure Ferry. I don't know if you can see it behind me. I took the west side road out here, and then I'm going to hook up with Jeremy and I'm going to take the highway back. I came from Kamloops. It's about a half an hour drive, a really pretty one, very relaxed. It's got that back road kind of feel to it. The McClure Ferry is a short little trip, but pretty neat. As you can tell, a lot of bikers take it. This is a favorite little road trip, and I just try to take it a couple times a year. So I hope I'm getting some good footage. Next footage up would be a little bit of some clips on the ferry. And I know this isn't the gratuitous film that you want, but you know what? We'll get to that later if we find a pretty spot, and I'm sure we will. Okay, let's pack this up and get on a ferry. As you can see, we've tracked down Jeremy, and he has a table full of goodies for us. We're going to be having him explain it and kind of walk us through this in just a few minutes here. We're just waiting for the coffee to brew. So let's get to a little bit of an explanation. We're here at the beautiful Pine Grove RV and campground here in McClure, BC. It's a great spot. I can't think of anything better to do this review, so let's go check out what's in the kit. Okay, we're back. Jeremy, you have a cornucopia of goodies here on the table. This is part of your basic kit, I'm assuming?
Some of it. It depends on what I'm going to be doing, I guess. Going out for a short trip will be quite a bit lighter than this whole smattering of everything.
Right.
So it depends on what you want to do, I guess. If you're going out for a day hike, then what I would bring is my Nalgene bottle, backpack, obviously.
Right.
Backpack, you definitely want it fitted nicely to you, and make sure when you're packing your pack, try to make all the heavy stuff close to your back, so you're not being weighed back like this. You kind of want to be able to stand up straight.
Right.
Upright. So a good backpack is key.
Right.
It's just.
I recognize that backpack from somewhere.
No,
it's not. It's not the Toro Bio.
It's not.
Okay.
I got that one in the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of serendipitous that it was the same camo.
Nice. Right.
Yeah, so you definitely want to have a decent backpack, lots of pockets everywhere to put your stuff, and then definitely want to take some water with you. It depends on how long you're going out.
Right.
Kind of want something to filter the water, maybe if you're going to run out in the future, or do you just? I'm looking for a day ride.
You know what? In this scenario, okay. So if you're going for a few days, and you're packing the kids, so obviously this is going to be a lot of prep time. And
Yeah.
You're going to want the camp stove, the perk pot, the whole deal. So imagine the scenario here would be doing a lot of okay, so let's call this a day trip, either a day trip or a fishing trip or an overnight with the kids. So, and what we're looking for is to have the little adventure bin that you either sitting in the vehicle or close at hand that you can just grab and say, okay kids, let's go. And if that's the case, what would you call the essential items that you would want in something like that?
I would want water for sure.
Yep.
I'd want something to make fire. So that's multiple things. You can take a Bic lighter or a ferrocerium rod or
Oh, right.
tons of stuff, right? And then obviously, I've got this nice collapsible fishing rod.
Sweet.
Absolutely perfect. Keep it under the seat of my truck. It's beauty. See a lake on the side of the road, pop out.
Exactly.
Small little tin. I've got lures in here, and then I've got flies in here. Small first aid kit, nothing special. If you're just going out for the day and whatever, Band-Aids, cuts and boo-boos and stuff like that. So
Right.
Keep this one under the seat. It's a big boy. This will get you out of some stuff.
That's worth having
Yeah.
in the vehicle at any time anyway.
Yeah.
So that goes along with the wipes and the TP.
Yes.
That's the essentials.
Yes.
Okay. Since we got the ability to make fire, and we have coffee, which is brewing contentedly, or the water is boiling while this is happening. So I'm excited for this. Let's continue on.
All right.
Sorry, cut you off.
Something to process your firewood.
You bet.
So either
okay.
and once again, it depends on how long you're going out. If you're going out just for a day, maybe a hatchet and a little pocket saw. Be perfect,
Right.
right?
Silky,
Perfect
yeah.
combination.
Perfect.
Going out for a few more days, maybe one of my folding buck saws.
Right.
And bigger axe, right? Something like forest axe. It's 26 inches, super light.
Perfect.
It's beauty. And a knife. Definitely want a knife.
Absolutely.
Either a folding knife or a fixed blade knife or a neck knife. These guys just fit around your neck. And
Perfect.
I've got the ferro rod on there, so everything you need to light a fire is right there.
Okay, I see you have a life straw there too. So
Yes. So life straw is beauty because you can just walk up to any mud puddle and drink out of it.
Right.
I would rather find a stream or something. With
I would
moving
think
water
so,
than-
but you know what? Avoiding beaver fever is a big deal.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Something to purify your water. Either the life straw is great, but you can't really fill up a container like this or anything else. So
right.
bringing something to purify the water or filter it and boil it in is great. So
Right.
this kit here comes with a pot. Inside there is also a stove and utensils and everything.
Perfect.
So it's, you know, it's great to make a little shore lunch or whatever. So something small and compact like this is fairly lightweight.
Right.
It's not,
Yep, that can fit in a backpack.
yeah, but
no
it is pretty
problem.
bulky,
So-
right?
Right, it is. Okay, so you know what? If you're backpack camping, these are not items that you're going to necessarily want to take. You're going to pack as light as possible, but in this scenario, you're not dragging your kids all over Hell's Half Acre unless they really into it. But I don't know too many kids that are like hardcore hikers.
There's a few out there, but yeah, they are few and far between.
Right.
Yeah,
And they're usually doing this.
exactly. Yeah,
I see that a lot of hiking that way.
yeah.
So anyways, what else do we got here that you would recommend having in a pinch, just as the go-tos?
Cordage. I always have cordage with me. They're
Okay.
great. If you have a small tarp, you can string it up if it's getting rainy or whatever, right?
Excellent. Yep.
Toilet paper for sure. It's
Yep.
definite. Got some in a little backpack there.
Excellent. Okay.
Meds are always good. Some Tylenol, some aspirin, or if you're on medication, take some extra bit of that just in case.
Just in case.
You know.
You bet.
A lot of this stuff is more of a just in case scenario, but very useful to have at all times anyways, right?
100%. What I see, you got a multi-tool and a power bank.
Yes.
Okay. Today, and if you have kids with you, you're gonna probably want that.
Yes.
Now, the question here is, since we have the BioLite and we covered the fact that it can actually charge things up, would it be able to charge that?
Oh, for sure.
Nice.
Yep, it'll charge
Okay.
this. This one actually has a solar panel on it, so
Oh,
I can
beautiful.
strap it on my backpack and it'll charge as I walk wherever, right?
Nice.
So it's
okay.
pretty good.
That's worth having.
Yes, and cables. Everything's going to USB-C nowadays. So
Right.
The further along we go, the easier it's going to get. But for right now, I've got so many electronics and everyone has a different cord on it. So it's,
Yeah.
you know.
Everybody goes USB-C except for Apple.
Yes. They're coming that way pretty quick.
Yeah, but they still are not that way. Trust me, I know. Okay, so and you have a little bit of fire starting stuff here too. Some materials to take with you.
Yes. Well, these are just materials that I pick up along the way, like a chunk of fat wood
Nice.
and a little bit of witch's hair, or old man's beard, or whatever you want to call it, lichen. I tend to, when I'm walking, if I find something, I'll pick it up, put it in my pocket. You know, grab something like this from the tree. If it feels a little bit moist, throw it in my pocket, and by the time I get to where I'm going and want to light a fire, there's a good chance that it's going to be dry enough for me to do it, right?
Another good suggestion is perhaps having some birch bark. If you have access to birch bark, keep some birch bark with you.
Under my seat right now is a pile of birch bark, and that bag over there is just filled with birch bark and
Perfect.
fat wood.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're ready. Me make fire.
yeah.
So, and you know what? That's going to be handy whether you're cooking up the catch of the day, or whether you have to make a fire for the kids to tell the ghost stories. Any scenario, it's always good if you are on the adventure circuit for the summer is to have the ability to create fire, and some kind of rudimentary shelter.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect.
Exactly. Yeah. Inside here is a little stove as well.
Really?
Yeah, a little stove and a little grate.
Perfect.
Yeah, a little grill for whatever, right?
Yeah. I'm sure it works great.
It does actually. Yeah. Works perfect. Coffee maker. I never leave home without this.
Yeah,
Like this
okay,
this
yeah.
thing's awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
And then a bag. This is actually a backpack.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it stuffs into this little bag. But if I have a base camp and I just want to go for a stroll, I'm going to throw this guy in my pocket and go for a stroll. And if I see something that I want to take back, you know, like birch bark or whatever, right? I can unload this or open this up, throw it on, fill it up full of stuff, bring it back to the can.
Awesome idea.
Yeah.
Awesome
so
idea.
One of these is happy. And also, if you're going to a grocery store and they say, do you want a reusable bag? Those are great too.
Okay.
Just stuff them into, they fold up pretty small and they're light.
Do?
And you throw them in your pocket and you go out and you have a bag to put
I know
stuff
I have piles of them that I never take with me.
I think I buy one every second time I go to the store. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's say not a shoestring budget, but you're going to try and put together a kit on a budget that's not going to break the bank, but you're always adventure ready. Maybe pick your essentials that you cannot do without for the dads out there.
Okay. A saw for sure.
Okay.
A knife, this one here is perfect because it's a great knife. Moore is a great brand, but in the handle you also get a ferrocerium rod. So,
Nice. There you go. Perfect.
so that is a must. A decent Nalgene bottle, that's a must as well. Backpack is an absolute must.
Totally.
I keep mine with a radio because I travel the back roads quite a bit.
Okay.
So I like to call my kilometers. If I'm stuck somewhere, I can call for help, whatever, right?
Perfect. Yep.
And something to charge your batteries and calories.
Right.
Calories for sure.
Okay.
Either a granola bar or something small, right?
Yep.
So, I pulled out of my other backpack. I pulled out a granola bar that was probably 4 years old. So
I always had a little kit. Whenever you're on a road trip, you always have like snacks. So, and those can sit around for a long time, and having the little snacks just in case you're stopped, you break down on the side of the road, the ferry's late, whatever you have, you already have a snack that, you know, because nobody wants to be hangry, especially you, and you have hangry kids. It's no good. So the upshot of all this, and we'll kind of discuss the strategies after with a nice cup of coffee, which is just about ready. I think it's steaming or damn close, and we'll discuss that after. But there you go. That's Jeremy's go-to kit and his suggestions. He's full of great advice. So yeah, I'll catch you for a coffee next clip. Okay, and an extra thought.
well, I was just a couple things. First aid kit, small one, and this little guy here has got is like a tiny survival kit. Everything to light a fire. It's got some duct tape. It's got a small shelter, and it's got ways to make fire and a whistle. Like this is just doesn't take up any space, no weight, perfect.
So emergency ration, emergency kits.
It's got a little compass in there.
Nice.
And a nice folding map, like
Okay.
a backroads map. You can get them all over the place, but these are great.
Did you hear that? It's a map, and it's not on this.
No,
I know. I still know how to use those.
do not rely on technology. It'll burn you every time.
It's true.
If you rely solely on technology, it'll burn you every time.
Yeah.
So
And you'll take the long way, just like a cab driver,
learn old school.
Yeah. For sure. Okay, round two with the BioLite. Can confirm this makes an absolutely excellent cup of coffee. Under the right circumstances. So again, having the bin and being able to procure the right material to make this sucker do what it does best, that's actually critical. So cheers to the coffee for
Cheers.
sure. So I know there was a couple of things that you still wanted to mention that we didn't get into the main clips.
Basically, one thing I'd like to mention, super handy if you can get a hold of it, is potassium permanganate and glycerin. Glycerin you can buy any drugstore, really. The potassium permanganate, a lot of times pet stores sell it because people use it in their koi ponds and stuff like that to purify water. And that's exactly why I have it. One of the reasons I have it is depending on how much you mix with your water, you can purify it. You can also make it into an antiseptic. There's lots of stuff you can do with this. I would do my own research if I were you and just figure it out for yourself. One thing I do use it for is lighting fires. So if you were to mix potassium permanganate and glycerin together, they combust. So
I'm sure they do. Nitroglycerin?
yeah. Yeah, and the glycerin is medicinal as well. There's lots of different purposes for this, so do your research on this as well. But these two things I tend to keep in my backpack, at least little vials of them separate. Kind of want to keep them separate with something spongy in the middle, so if it breaks in your backpack, you're not,
Right.
you know.
Spontaneous combusting.
It's not an explosion. It actually, it's a time delayed reaction. Went out camping in the middle of winter one time with a buddy, and so we trekked in with all their stuff
Okay.
and dug a pit for the fire.
Yeah.
Got everything ready, put the potassium permanganate and the glycerin together, walked away and set up the rest of the camp. And as I was setting up the rest of my camp, the fire was doing its own thing. It just kind of lights up.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this turns water and snow purple.
Okay.
So if you have some of this and it's the middle of winter, there's snow everywhere, and you're lost and you need help, you could actually sprinkle this in an SOS pattern and it'll turn the SOS purple.
Perfect.
So it can be seen from, depending on how big you make it or whatever.
So yeah, if you have a big bottle of that, you could probably like trace out hell. I have kids. So, or pick us up or,
And it doesn't take much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's some extra bushcraft wisdom there. So depending on how extreme you want to get, but these are little things that are handy to have just ripping around, because the adventure season, you never know where it's going to take you.
Take some pretty fun places.
It can take you to some fun places, and you know what? Spontaneous plans aside, having the ability to be just up and go at any time is pretty great, and even better if you can take some coffee with you. So I'm going to be putting together my personal kit over the next couple weeks. So, and I'd like to also point out that if you're into this kind of thing, don't forget to mash that subscribe button, leave a comment, like my video, because it keeps the fire on and the coffee brewing around here. So, Jeremy, this has been a pleasure once again.
It has.
Good times, good coffee.